All right, so let's do five, let's say a summary of 5 things you can do to maximize your Social Security benefits and maximize your purchasing power. Improve your earnings record. Apply for Social Security at the optimal time. Coordinate spousal benefits. Minimize the taxation of your benefits and coordinate your Social Security with everything else. Let's do them one at a time. Improve your earnings records. First thing that I like to do is to make sure the government knows when you worked and how much money you made. All right? There's plenty of cases that we have sent away for these statements, and people said, well, they have me there for 0. I was working those years. And then you send the government a copy of your tax return, and then there's a number of letters that go back and forth, but ultimately, that's an important step. I would not trust the government to have this thing down right. I would go, if you've seen your earnings record and you know it's right, well, that's fine, but it might not be. And if you're not sure, I would go to www.socialsecurity.gov/mystatement. Find out if it's accurate. I don't think we've seen too many accuracy issues. We have seen years where earnings were reported at 0. So in other words, for some reason, the government didn't have a record of your earnings. And then, of course, working longer is great. The longer you work, the better your earnings record is going to be. All right, the optimal time. Again, your income needs, now in the future, life expectancy, spouse's life expectancy. I'm not going to go through the earnings test. In general, though, if you're working, your benefit is going to be lower. I don't like to do that. To me, if you're still working, you don't, well, oh, I'm being corrected. Go ahead, Karen.
Just in addition to that, that if you're working before full retirement age, your benefit will be reduced if it's over a threshold, your income is over a threshold amount. Once you hit full retirement age, the earnings test doesn't apply anymore.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
66.
If based on the year of your birth, if your full retirement age is 66, once you hit that point, you can earn as much as you want, and it doesn't affect your benefits.
Okay. Good correction.
And is that earnings as opposed to capital gains or dividends?
That's correct. It is earning capital gains and dividends are irrelevant. Might affect the taxation of it, but it won't change the earnings records. Okay, minimize your taxes. Well, that's what we were talking about with the Roth. There's all kinds of tax things that you can do, and there's all kinds of things that you can do to manipulate your income. When I was relatively young, I was interested in buying a piece of rental property. They had a special government mortgage, and the trick was, if you made too much money, you didn't apply. They wouldn't give it to you. If you didn't make enough money, they wouldn't give it to you because they were afraid they weren't going to get paid back. So there was a sweet spot. And I was talking to the banker, and he said, "What's your income?" I said, "What do you want it to be?" There are things that can be done sometimes for certain taxpayers that can manipulate their income. So for example, even just the simple holding off on Social Security after you're retired will keep your income lower, and then maybe do muni bonds or hold off on capital gains or other different tax planning. If you're in business, you can do a lot. You do different tax planning techniques that will enable you to get the maximum from your Social Security and your Roth conversions. Okay, again, I love doing Roth conversions before you're taking Social Security. And the other thing, and maybe it goes without saying, but I like to do an integrated plan that includes everything. A Social Security plan, a Roth plan, a general tax planning, an estate plan, investment plan, and I actually believe they're all interrelated. So earlier I said you could invest anything you want in the Roth, but on an investment strategy, the Roth is the long-term money. So the Roth you might never spend. So I'm going to invest the Roth much more growth-oriented, much more long-term, than I am. So I might do 100% in stock for the Roth, but the money that you're going to need in the next year or two, I might do 100% cash and CDs. So you don't just have one portfolio and treat all your money the same. Different dollars should be invested differently.